What's good, y'all? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of Above the Rim. Subscribe and tune in each week to hear me and a special guest discuss the latest in the NBA, the way you want to hear it, with the topics that you want to hear. Keep it locked.
Playing with a guy who you don't like, it's got to have some toll upon you. If a guy calls you out, well, first of all, you're a different type of cat. He's only had one good game. It was the game Butler didn't play. It's got to be something going on. We thought he was going to be the next big thing.
Well,
I still like that kid a lot,
well,
but he playing awful.
I understand what you're saying, but he got the max dollars now, so he got to pull his panties up and play. I don't want to hear all that stuff you're talking about right now. He got to play.
You got a lot of talent, kid. You got a lot of talent. And I hope you have a good year. I hope somewhere you can find some heart and find some passion for the game and have a good year. I really wish you the best. Oh, I'm 40. Thank God I'm happy to see 40. Bum, I never been that. You know that. Respect it or check it. All that, I'm going to have that same energy wherever I go, all that. Say, man, make sure your energy straight when you see me, bro. All right? I'm pretty sure you know who I am. Make sure your energy straight. Just focus on finding some heart and having a good year. I wish you the best. You got a lot of talent. Just find that. Please don't try to do that with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that same energy. I'll catch you in traffic. 100.
Talk about it!
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim.
Welcome to the latest episode of Above the Rim, episode 72. Brought to you by your honorable host, as always. It's your boy Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. Joining me this week, one of the hosts of the Four Seasons podcast, a dope NBA podcast, my man Zach Noble. What's going on? How you living, my man?
I appreciate that. No, I'm living great. I mean, NBA's off to a hell of a start this year, and just exciting times, honestly.
It is. I gotta tell you, man, there's a lot of drama going on in the NBA right now, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA, I always like to say, is the male version of the Kardashians.
Come on, You're right, though.
The female audience is picking up, though. Let's be real.
It is.
I'm proud of our females out there.
Listen, it's definitely... Listen, every week is some new drama. Every game is something else happening in the NBA. I'm not complaining. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not complaining. So family, you can find Above the Rim anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether that be on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, wherever. To get in contact with me or the show, you can follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513. IG is JustBlaze513. On Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast, and also email the show at the new email address. That's Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Zach, where can the family find you?
So my Twitter is ZAKNOBLE, Zach Noble, or else Real Ball Insider is our main company account. And then our Four Seasons podcast is 4SZNS.
Yes, sir. Make sure you go out and find Zach, man. Family, go find him. And also, if you have any feedback for the show, responses to the questions, it's a call up to talk about it line. Leave your boy a voicemail. Let me know what's on your mind. That number is 908-718-1592, and you can send in responses via email as well. And Zach, before we dive into this episode, discussing Ty Lue, your T-Wolves, and a couple of guys who we think deserve more time to shine, let's get into something that I've noticed on the lowest of keys. And I'm going to start off here, Zach.
Let's hit me with it.
This right here is a PSA to all of the Laker fans out there, because Lord knows everyone and their mama's a Laker fan right now. This is about the time. It's emotional season right now for Laker fans. I need y'all to calm down a little bit. Keep your emotions in check for a second. You're a little all over the place 6 or 7 games into the season. 1 minute you love LeBron. Next minute you hate him. 1 minute he could be the greatest Laker ever. Next minute is trade LeBron after an 0-3 start. Then it's LeBron and Lonzo can be really special. Then he misses 2 free throws and we hear he could never be Kobe. Then some of y'all are calling him the ops after he gets into a little scuffle and holds CP back. Come on.
He's bringing it.
Get your life together, Laker fans. Listen, I'm not even the biggest LeBron fan, but damn. Be a little bit more appreciative, Laker fans. Let's not forget the last 5 years, The Lakers have the worst win percentage of any franchise. The most amount of losses. I understand the franchise is used to titles, but you have to have a good enough team to get there. And LeBron accelerates any process leading to a title. So pipe down, Laker fans. Relax. But Zach, man, these Laker fans don't appreciate it, man.
That's fair. No, I'm with you 100%. I mean, the mixed emotions, but that comes with being, I mean, one of the most popular fan bases, the Lakers or the Celtics,
True.
And then the most polarizing player of all time. Whether he's the greatest or not, I definitely don't think he is, but he's definitely the most polarizing because he's definitely the most outspoken greatest player. And he's done the most outside of on the court. So every move's going to be monitored pretty closely.
But they gotta calm down a little bit. 0-3 start. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, there was a lot of those tweets going around. Let's start to test LeBron's market value. What's his trade value? And I said, hold on. 0-3, 3 losses. You guys won 35 games last year. Let's pump the brakes a little bit and relax.
I will give them this. If they can't beat the train wreck of the Timberwolves tonight,
I know.
Then you can go off with this head. Then you can go whatever you want, which way on them. But if they can't beat the incestual Minnesota Timberwolves, it's going to be a fun ride. You like that? You like that one? I can't believe I just pulled that one out.
Definitely. Definitely, man. So, on the lowest of keys for you, Zach?
Yeah, so for me, I'd like to focus more on the positives, and that would be the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm going to give out 2 shout-outs to teams, the Clippers and the Bucks. So, first of all, the Clippers, I mean, Doc Rivers has done an amazing job. Like, he just flies under the radar. It's such a good coach. He's improved ever since he left Boston. I mean, people didn't give him enough credit for all those Blake and Chris years being able to monitor those personalities, but now showing he can win with just about anybody and compete at the highest level, and with the talent he does have, it's pretty impressive. And they started right back at square one with just a brand new squad again. And Tobias Harris, the leap he's making under Doc Rivers, I mean, I think Tobias, if he keeps this up, he might have a chance at making the All-Star game potentially. Now, the Bucks, on the other hand, they're still undefeated going into today, and they're looking pretty good right now. With that said, I mean, Jason Kidd in his 4 years there, he didn't have a 6-game winning streak. He had a 4-game winning streak. I think it was his top maybe 3 game.
Man, that's it? Only 4?
That's it. In his 4 years, that's it. Now, Mike Budenholzer, he starts out with a 6-game winning streak. Pretty impressive. Yeah. And the Bucks just aren't getting any love right now for even being undefeated. Everybody's still talking about the Warriors and the Nuggets and the Raptors being they added Kawhi, and rightfully so. But I definitely think the Bucks need a little more love there.
Yes, 100%. I like those on the low sub keys. Like, I'm with you 100% both ways. Doc Rivers hasn't gotten enough love this season for taking basically, they have a team full of cast-offs if you look at it in a way. Patrick Beverley, they let go out of Houston. Avery Bradley, a couple of teams don't want him, and I don't know why, because Avery's a solid player. Tobias Harris is a nice scorer. Boban, he's been let go. Now look at him.
You got it.
If you look at that that Clippers roster, they are a gritty, tough defensive team, and I really like how they are pulling themselves together. You got to look at the direction that they're going, most definitely.
They're putting the Lakers to shame a little bit right now.
Yeah, they're looking good.
I mean, even my boy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for a rookie, he's coming out looking pretty polished.
Yeah, he is. I definitely like. They play with a lot of heart, and they play hard. That's why I like that Clippers team and the Bucks. You about to say something?
Yeah, tell me this. You're attacking the Lakerland a little bit there.
Yeah.
If at what point do you think Luke Walton becomes on the hot seat? I personally believe he's always on the hot seat, no matter what. 1, because he's the Lakers coach, but 2, he's LeBron's coach, and LeBron's coach is rightfully always on the hot seat. But I think, if they're not by the All-Star break, if they're not at least a couple of games above 500, 5 games, they'll be looking.
Yeah. So
point the finger at somebody.
Yeah. So listen, I'm on record. I've been said Luke had to go. I don't think Luke is the right coach for that Laker team. Seat is hot. The seat has been scorching before.
Damn.
As soon as LeBron put that pen on that paper and said, I'm coming to LA, that seat has been scorching for Luke. Luke is not the right coach for that team. I've been saying it all year. I personally don't like Luke, and I don't like his demeanor for this team. I don't feel like he's the right coach for this team. I feel like they need a stronger coach and a stronger coach in the media. Luke, to me, is a little bit passive. I still think people are holding him into this higher standard from his Golden State assistant coach years. And this is a different team. It's not the same team. He can't rely on those veterans anymore.
All right. So, I mean, everything you're saying about Luke is, I mean, you're not necessarily wrong. He's definitely gets a lot of credit for his Golden State days, but he is a bit passive in interviews. However, I think he's overachieved every year as the coach of the Lakers. Definitely done a great job. So he's definitely
done a solid job. Yes, I'm not saying he's done a terrible job.
These players have definitely developed under him. I mean, the leap Brandon Ingram made from year 1 to year 2, and the improvement Lonzo Ball made over all of last year, and Kuzma, I mean, his only job is really to develop players, and he's done that. So, I mean, now that he's got LeBron, now his goal is to win and keep developing these players. So,
you see,
Lonzo's shot has gotten better.
Yes, but I think you're giving too much credit to Luke right there. I think Lonzo being better, I think is a natural progression of his game from year 1 to year 2. Kuzma, I feel like he was just a diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? Like the mentality that Kyle Kuzma has for a late, not a second round pick, a late first round pick. You don't always find that in players, in players like a Draymond Green, players like that. So I don't feel like that's necessarily Luke. I feel like it was in Kuzma, but you got to give Luke a little bit of credit for at least giving him the minutes, I guess, or the opportunity.
I definitely like the offense they run, and they were a great defensive team last year. I mean, I think they were top 12 in the league last year in defense. For a young squad, that's really impressive. So the way they're sharing the ball, I think he's putting these players in the right position. I like the offense they're running right now, mixing Rondo and Lonzo, rightfully so. But honestly, time will tell. I mean, definitely not off to a hot start, but tell you that. So,
yeah,
you could be right when it's all said and done.
I mean, I like their offense, and I think the Lakers are going to do well. I think I got them in the second round, just losing in the second round. But I think they're going to be a top 4 seed in the West when all said and done at season's end. But I don't think it's necessarily because of Luke. I think it's more so of LeBron and the camaraderie that the team will come together with. And I feel like Magic will go out in some way improve the roster by the deadline. Like maybe a minor upgrade, but an upgrade nonetheless. So I won't necessarily put it on Luke. I'm putting it on LeBron and Magic for putting it all together. But we'll see. We'll see. But speaking of hot seats, Zach, Ty Lue, his seat blew up this weekend. And the Cavs coach, Tyronn Lue, was fired over the weekend after the Cavs have gotten off to a 0-6 start. The only team in the NBA, I believe, left without a win. Basically letting them go for not obliging to GM Kobe Altman's wishes, which was to play the young guys a lot more. And in turn, he pulled out vets Kyle Korver, Channing Frye, J.R. Smith out of the rotation. And Dan Gilbert has also encouraged more playing time for the rookie Colin Sexton, who's averaging about 23 minutes a game. And this is rather peculiar to me because what I'm trying to figure out is why the Cavs even thought that their roster would be competitive this year. They built their team around LeBron and a bunch of specialists. Now, if you remove the main piece, all you're left with is players with specialties that don't really coincide with the new direction of the team. So, Zach, how's that Ty Lue's fault? And I have no clue, but if I'm Ty Lue, I'm not even mad at this firing at all, to be honest. To me, I feel like he low-key dodged a bullet, if you ask me, Zach.
Hey, that's fair. I mean, he's going to make $15 million for sitting on his ass and having the time of his life.
True indeed.
You can't blame the guy.
Yep.
I mean, maybe he tanked because he wanted to get out of that hellhole. Who knows?
Yeah, could be.
But I've been probably the biggest Ty Lue critic there is, honestly. Mm-hmm. I never thought he's been a good coach. I've always thought he's been a bottom 5 coach in the NBA.
Damn, bottom 5?
Honestly, I'm probably the biggest Ty Lue hater you'll come across.
Bottom. Ouch.
Yeah. I just don't think he's ever done anything positive. I mean, the players have all regressed under him. You can put a little bit of that on LeBron and his playing style last year because he's definitely changed drastically. But it's LeBron and Ty Lue. Everything always comes back to. I'm personally one of the biggest believers in the talent they had on this team. I think it's a lot better than what it's showing and looks out to be. But I put it all. I mean, it's not great. I definitely didn't have them in my playoffs by anything crazy like that. But I definitely think they could have been a lot more competitive in the finals last year. It definitely fit LeBron a lot better, but he didn't do anything to make it fit. I think it was the most selfish year of LeBron's career last year. He was already halfway out the door. However, Ty Lue, I mean, it was an interesting time. I definitely think they should have started off a little better, even though Kevin Love was hurt and he missed a couple games here, but he still played in 4 of them. I think they should have. They had the talent to win at least 1 to 3 games. Any other coach, I think they would have won games. I definitely. Like I said, I'm not very happy with the job Ty Lue's done the entire time there. But with that said, I mean, you're right. He probably did dodge a bullet because if they were going to fire him this early in the season, he didn't even make it through a month of the season. And with the issues they were having there, you'd think Cleveland was...
Yeah.
Oh, that was getting me a little bit. Oh, good. You would think the brass would have had a guy picked in the offseason is what I'm getting at. I really think it was a weird time to fire him, and maybe it would have been better if they did it before the season.
Yeah, six games in, though. I feel like you're putting a little too much on Ty Lue right now. I mean, really, though, how far can you really go with Kevin Love as your best player right now in 2018? I don't think that Kevin Love is that great of a player. He's a very solid piece, right? But to me, Kevin Love's 2010 days are over.
I don't think so. I personally believe Kevin Love. I mean, look at his number. I mean, his per 36 numbers are great. I mean, last year,
can you feature Kevin Love though, Zach? How much can you feature Kevin Love as your number one option when the defense is geared towards him? And can he produce on a night in and night out basis? I don't believe Kevin Love can do that anymore. I believe he's a third option on a championship team right now.
And that's fine. You're definitely a championship team, absolutely. But I think on a team that wins 38 games, he can be your number one option, or 35 games, I think is what I had him at before the year.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. But yeah, the hardest part was me is always thinking back on Ty Lue and the regression of these pieces. I mean, I definitely like the potential of Colin Sexton. I mean, the only guy I really do not like a whole lot on the team is I'm not really high on Jordan Clarkson, and I think they overpaid
I've never
for
been a fan.
Larry Nance. But Rodney Hood, I mean, he put up dry numbers on a team that wasn't like Utah was struggling when Rodney Hood was putting up his excellent numbers last year, and that's what a lot of people forget. I mean, Utah the whole year only had 3 negative players all last year. It was Rodney Hood, Joe Johnson, who both aren't with the team anymore, and then Ricky Rubio barely.
Yeah, I agree. But going back to Ty Lue really quick, I feel like there should have been 2 coaches fired ahead of Ty Lue. And the 2 coaches who I feel like should have been fired already into the season, or even last year, is Billy Donovan and Scotty Brooks. Last 3 seasons, Billy Donovan blows a 3-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals, then a first-round exit, and then another first-round exit. At least the last 3 seasons, Ty Lue has gotten a title and 2 finals appearances, albeit we know because of LeBron, of course. But
and in the East.
And in the East, true indeed, and in the East. And Scotty Brooks, he's another one. I wrote it on Twitter today. He has got to go. But I'm going to do a whole episode on the Wizards because, man, they disappointing the hell out of me.
So you're missing a big one here, but I completely agree. I just put out the other day top 5 hottest seats in the NBA. Both those guys were on it. Billy Donovan was number 1, and Billy Donovan is another coach. He was a bottom 10 coach in the NBA in my estimation.
Yes, I agree with that. Bottom 5, bottom 3.
I like Billy Donovan more than Ty Lue, I'll tell you that. But with that said, I mean, mostly because of what he actually did on the defensive end. I mean, he got Russell Westbrook to become a pretty damn good defender last year, and that's a miracle if you ask me.
I feel like he's more of a gambler than a defender in Russell Westbrook.
But, I mean, his help defense was also a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, in the post, he was pretty solid. And I mean, he improved everywhere, I thought. I mean,
as a team, they had great defense, though. They were top 5, I believe, right? OKC last year?
I mean, they were top 2 or 3 till Andre Roberson went down.
Yeah, true.
So other than that, Scott Brooks, I personally believe Scott Brooks is a great coach. I love what he did. Not a great coach, but a good coach. I mean, he's definitely, I thought he never really underachieved in Oklahoma City. I thought he always met expectation or exceeded them. Mm-hmm. But with this team, I personally think Bradley Beal and John Wall have never had that chemistry. I've always thought those two have needed to split up. They've always been beefing pretty hard, I feel like. Just don't think
pisses me off, man.
Yeah, because I like them both a lot. I think they're both talented guys. And, so I think both those guys are going to be on the hot seat, but I would try to break that core of those two guys up first.
Yeah, man. I hear that. I mean, just some bad losses to start the season for the Washington Wizards. I said before the season, looking at that roster with Austin Rivers being signed, Dwight Howard, who still hasn't played yet, which is ridiculous right now. Jeff Green. I feel like that team could possibly get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have the talent to, but Lord knows. I mean, I don't know why I put any faith in these Washington Wizards, but it's still early, so maybe they could turn around. But man, John Wall, I just need him to become a leader. The team will be straight if he becomes a leader and everyone follows his lead. But him and Bradley Beal, it look just like you said. I don't think they can ever coexist. I think it's gone too far.
Yep, I think those two and then CJ and Dame need to split up too.
Yes.
They're more so, I think they get along personality-wise, but more so their games don't match, and they're both not very good defenders.
Exactly. It's just a small backcourt.
Can't really defend, right?
Exactly, 100%. And so moving on now to another team in the West. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves. Good Lord.
I thought you were just going to skip over this for me.
Man, the T-Wolves were under a microscope coming into the season, and they have done nothing to shy away from that. Currently sitting at 2-4, maybe 2-5 by the time this comes out. They got a lot of issues. They got a lot of issues going on with this team. Zach, these are your boys right here. But first off, let's start with Cat. What's the deal with Cat this season? Subpar start to this season, averaging 16-8, shooting 42% from the floor. Those are not the typical 20-10 like Karl Anthony Towns numbers that he usually puts up. Wolves had their season opener. He took only 6 shots. A game against the Raptors, he asked to be subbed out in the third quarter after he airballed a 3. Man, I mean, in my mind, this was the year that Cat needed to become the undisputed leader of the team and somehow get them into the playoffs without Jimmy. I assumed he wouldn't be here to start the season, which I don't think he will be there any much longer, but hopefully, we don't know how long they're going to drag this out. I mean, he's playing very pedestrian right now, and put this into context. Look at him in comparison to JaVale McGee, who he's playing right now. JaVale is getting you 15-6, 64% from the floor in 25 minutes. Cat is giving you 16-8, 42% from the floor in 30 minutes. Come on, Cat. I need him to perform better. So what's the deal, Zach?
Call me crazy, but I got a theory right now that Cat is actually purposely tanking. Because I think he knows if the team sucks, the quicker they get rid of Jimmy. And so why not? Like, he got paid. Does he give a damn right now? I mean, he's only had 1 good game out of 6 games so far. Tonight, however, though, he came out strong for the first 5 minutes. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. We got 5 strong minutes out of him. I mean, he's 12 and 8 at halftime. I'll take 5 minutes. Shit.
See, the fact that you're saying that right now, do you hear that, Zach? Come on,
denial, man. I'm in denial. Don't get me wrong. It's a mess. No, it's absolute dumpster fire. but Jimmy's bringing the whole state, the city, the ground, and try and take the NBA with it. So,
but see,
it's
so
not a pretty sight.
Do you think Jimmy's in his head? I know. Oh yes, October 31st. That's a big day when a lot of recent signees can be traded. Hopefully it goes down. That goes down by then. So do you think it's as far as Cat goes? You think the Jimmy Butler trade saga? You think it's getting into his head? You think that's what it is?
Oh, I think he hates Jimmy, first of all. So I think Jimmy's always been in his head. I mean, personal and reasons on the court, you name it. But also, I mean, he was promised. The only reason why he signed his contract, he waited forever because he was given the word that Jimmy was not going to be on the team when the season started.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, the word is the word, and you were given the keys to the franchise, and he's definitely playing like he was betrayed. Absolutely. I'm not honestly mad at him. I'm not going to judge Karl Anthony Towns until Jimmy's gone anyways.
I mean, I hear you, but my issue is that if I'm Cat, I understand I'm frustrated. I would speak to the owner, Glenn Taylor, Tibbs, tell him, say, listen, man, you guys need to hurry up and get this deal done. I don't want to lose any more games because of this. He's pulling his little stunt right now, if it's true what you're saying. It could be, because I actually really like that scenario, Zach. I'm not going to lie. That's the first I've heard that, and I like that one. But if I'm Zach, I would just still try to ball out and just say, listen, get this guy out of here. Let me show you that I can be the franchise cornerstone, and you wouldn't worry about losing Jimmy Butler because I'm here right now. And he went in the media, he called you soft. Damn near everybody's calling you soft right now. He had all the rumors about Jimmy and his girl, which was a major distraction, and probably there could be some truth to it. Oh,
there is.
Yeah, you think so?
Hey, the Minnesota Timberwolves marketing people told season ticket holders it actually happened. So if they're telling the public,
really?
I truly, that's how I know it's 100%.
Oh, so it really is? Oh, man. So I know the organization knows about this. So why would you keep that type of toxicness in the environment on the team structure? It's ridiculous.
He's Tibbs' guy. Tibbs thinks, I mean, winning solves everything.
Of course.
And honestly, you look around the NBA, it's crazy to see how many guys have dated the same women.
Yeah.
And that's one thing a lot of people don't truly think about. But
true.
Dating the same woman after it's over versus stealing your girl is a little bit different, I'd say.
Come on, man.
That's for another day, I guess.
That's true.
I do think, to your point about Towns going to these guys, it's tough because Glenn Taylor, I mean, said he was going to get control. He had offers, turned them down because Tibbs thought he could make it work.
Yeah.
Think about this. If they start playing amazingly, if they're winning a bunch of games, Tibbs is going to stay in denial, and it's just going to make him even happier. Like, there's no way they trade him if they're winning.
Yeah, that's true.
No
Good
chance.
point.
He's Jimmy's guy, and he thinks he can persuade him to stay. Thinks he can persuade him to work together. It's not going to work, and it's proving that answer now. So hopefully the losses, I mean, don't come in too soon before he's gone, or else the Wolves will be in too big of a hole to even have a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah. I think that's about to happen right now.
I think it's going to happen October 31st, I think is the day. I'm praying, man.
I hear you. And speaking of Jimmy, I kind of want us to go over like what would be best case scenario in the deal for Minnesota. And basically that initial refusal to act on Jimmy Butler's unhappiness with the team, it just suggests to me that Thibodeau's intentions aren't in line with what's best for the franchise as far as looking for the future and going with this youth movement of Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. And letting Butler walk without capitalizing on his departure is not an option. I mean, you guys can get over losing Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine, but I think Lauri Markkanen and his career arc, I think that's what will haunt many after this trade at Minnesota. And we know now, Houston Rockets, my boys, offering 4 future first-round picks. Ridiculous.
There's a lot of smoke there, man. There's a lot of smoke there.
There's a lot of smoke there. 4 picks, and Miami also has an offer of something like Josh Richardson and a pick, I believe. But Glenn Taylor and Tibbs cannot see eye to eye on adequate compensation for Jimmy, who's arguably top 15, top 10 player in the league. So with that being said, Zach, this is your boys. What kind of deal do you think is good enough right now for Minnie? What would you take? Because the clock is ticking.
Personally, I'm so desperate. I'd take either of them, and either But here's the thing: it's really not 4 first-round picks, because if you read the fine details, they're all 2 or 3 of them are really protected, and they're going to be.
Oh, they are
picks.
protected.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
If they're going to be protected, it's a shit deal, and they don't even want to give up Eric Gordon. So you'd be getting 4 protected picks, maybe turn into 1 or 2 late round picks with Marquise Chris and then Brand Knight's terrible contract. No thanks. So honestly, I personally from the beginning, all I've wanted is Josh Richardson, because I've believed in him like no other. Yeah, and if you look, I've watched basically every minute of Josh Richardson's year, and he, honestly, we got to make a trade before it's too late, before they're not going to trade Jimmy Butler for him. Josh Richardson for Butler down in Miami, because I personally think Josh Richardson has the potential to be as good as Jimmy, maybe a top 15 player.
Wow, that's high praise for Josh Richardson.
Yeah, it is really high.
Wow. So, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I actually really like Josh Richardson. Me personally, I just haven't watched enough of him to know how good he is. But I do like his activity. I do like his bounce and his speed, his athleticism going to the rim. He definitely could play some defense. He definitely can bring some energy. I do like his passion for the game. So I'm not gonna lie, I do like Josh Richardson, but I don't know if he helps you get into the playoffs right now. See, him, to me, replacing Jimmy with Josh Richardson is more of a downgrade than it would be getting Eric Gordon there in place of Jimmy with that current roster.
Oh, I disagree. I think Josh Richardson's as good, if not better, than Eric Gordon now.
Okay, even fit-wise as well?
Fit-wise, you're right. It's definitely tough. I'm not really sold on the Josh Richardson, Andrew Wiggins fit. Eric Gordon's a better fit, but I will say this: Eric Gordon's, as a player, I've always thought he's really overrated. He's a much better finisher at the rim than people suggest, but he's a terrible defender, and his 3-point percentages are a lot less than what people imagine him to be.
Yeah, well,
but
yes,
it works. It
that's
works
true.
For the Rockets because they shoot so many damn threes. And if you're making a league average and you're shooting that many, you're completely fine.
Yeah, you're right. His 3-point, because I watch the Rockets very closely, and Eric Gordon, he has disappointed me time and time again with his 3-point shooting. When he's hot, he'll hit a few, but when he's off, boy, is he off. And he keeps shooting from deep. And that's my problem with Eric Gordon. But I still think he's a better fit-wise with them just because he's a veteran. And I feel like Karl-Anthony Towns right now, I'm really questioning his leadership. I'm really questioning Andrew Wiggins' leadership as well. And
they're soft.
Yeah, so speaking of that, do you think that Karl-Anthony Towns can be the number 1 option for a championship caliber team right now?
I did before the year. And if he's not intentionally tanking and he's just playing this bad, hell no. I'm really nervous then and scared with what we just paid him. But I'm going to believe he's purposely tanking. I'm going to just to make myself feel better. No, as of right now, I don't think he can. But before the year, I did say that. I'm not writing him off to have that potential yet. I definitely think he can be an all-NBA player yet and is going to be great. I really want Jimmy and Tibbs to be gone. But time will tell.
They both got to go, man. They both got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think, to me, how I feel about Cat is I'm a big fan of his. I really think he can be the number 1 option for the championship caliber team. But you have to put the right pieces around him. Honestly,
Correct.
You need players kind of like Jimmy Butler, but not Jimmy Butler, if you know what I mean. Who doesn't really show it the way Jimmy Butler shows it, but a person whose personality meshes more with Karl-Anthony Towns. So more of a leader by example, maybe guys like that. So But, like, say, for instance, Kawhi was replaced with Jimmy Butler. I think that would be perfect for Minnesota.
Oh, it'd be a perfection.
That would be a perfect mix, someone like that. So it's more so because of Jimmy, but I do like the style of player that Jimmy is. It does fit with Cat.
Right.
But
I strongly believe Kawhi is one of few players that literally fits with every player in the NBA.
That is true. That is true.
He's a robot, man. You program a robot to be a perfect NBA player. It's Kawhi Leonard.
True indeed. So, closing out the mini segment here, as a mini fan yourself, Zach, when is the right time to push the panic button? How many games in? Is it 5? Is it 3? Is it 20?
It's right now? Oh, we were panicking before the year. The panic button has been pushed, and we're holding it till this thing is resolved. When you got a bad owner and a very, very questionable head coach, and I was actually, before all this madness, 2 months before the season, I was actually higher on Thibs than anybody else in Minnesota because I ignored all of his flaws and the fact that he was winning. And people in Minnesota had to be grateful for being a winning team for the first time in so long.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's the first step, and that's what matters.
Damn, I hear you, man. To me, you said panic, but you're pushing the panic button right now. To me, I would say wait.
It's held. I'm holding it down.
I would say wait 15 games, but I feel like Minnesota is a special case. And I feel like right now, they can't move forward until Jimmy Butler's gone. So to me, it's just hampering them. So they basically got to push the panic button now. But usually, I will wait about 15 to 20 games on a normal team.
Jimmy Butler tried pushing the biggest power movement by an individual player about in NBA history. I'd say. I mean,
crazy. And the timing was ridiculous.
Right.
Ridiculous. So we were watching the Minnesota Timberwolves very closely. Hopefully by the end of this, Jimmy Butler will be going hopefully to the Houston Rockets. We'll see.
I'd like it if it's for the right deal.
We'll see.
I'd like to see another contender, honestly.
Yeah, man,
and
definitely.
Jimmy's a perfect piece that they need there.
Oh, he is, for sure. So I wanted to discuss some guys who we feel aren't getting enough shine right now, who maybe deserve a little bit more run for their teams. Maybe they are caught behind a better player in a crowded rotation, or the coach isn't seeing what we see. So I'll start us off here, Zach. The first person who I think needs to be play that man, is Lance Stevenson out there in LA, man. Ooh. Lance Stevenson, he got 11-5-3 right now in 21 minutes. I like Lance's energy right now. He's only playing 21 minutes for the Lakers right now. I like what he brings off the bench, I believe. I know sometimes Lance can get a little bit out of control per se, but what he brings to the table with that energy, his ball handling, you can even play him at the 1, 2, or the 3. And he can defend 1, 2, and 3. And the intensity that he brings, I really like what he brings to the table. And I feel like he should be playing more minutes than a guy like KCP, who's playing 30 minutes right now, which is ridiculous to me. So to me, Lance Stevenson, I feel like he deserves a little bit more time. And if he had a little bit more minutes, he could be a potential 6-man of the year candidate in my mind.
Wow.
Not gonna lie.
Praise.
Yes, it is. I like Born Ready.
He is born ready to be an energy guy, but I've always thought, I mean, he's an overrated player. I'm not a huge fan of Lance Stevenson, but I will tell you, he's been off to a very good start this year, and he's definitely brought exactly what the Lakers needed and are looking for. So I don't mind that pick for this segment, playing him more minutes, because he is bringing to the table. I just don't think he's a good defensive player. It's vastly overrated. But like what he's doing, they need it, and that's just getting in people's heads and bringing energy.
They need that tenacity.
Oh yeah, exactly. And he'll go unconscious from time or two, even if his overall numbers are bad. He's kind of like Jamal Crawford last year in that sense. I mean, he won the Timberwolves 5 to 10 games, but he also lost them a handful of games as well. So.
One for you.
Yeah, one for me. So I got 3 of them. The first one, I want to give a shout out to Pascal Siakam. I really think his net rating is unbelievable. All the best lineups for the Raptors are with him in it. I really want to see Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, Valanciunas, Leonard, and Siakam. If you notice, all their best lineups, whether it's Valanciunas or Leonard or OG or Ibaka, they're always the best next to Siakam.
I like his energy.
Yeah, and he's been able to shoot the ball at a high clip. And overall, I just think he's got so much untapped potential yet. So he'd be my first player.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at that. Siakam, I do like the move. Him moving into the starting 4 spot for Toronto gives him a lot more speed. Ibaka definitely needed to come off the bench. So that was a great move that Nick Nurse did. So I'm not mad at that at all, man. I'm not mad at that at all.
Increased his 3-point percentage by 16%. So
he needed to. He needed to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Another guy who I think deserved more minutes is Montrezl Harrell for them LA Clippers, man.
Love it.
Yes. He 13-6 right now, only 20 minutes per game. But man, listen, I was watching him against Houston. I believe it was, what was this, Friday night when the Clippers beat the Houston Rockets and CP3's return. Damn, this guy dominated Clint Capella in the paint, dominated the whole front line of the Houston Rockets. And he's been dominating ever since. I saw him when they played against the Wizards last night. He also dominated them. This man needs some more time. Montrezl Harrell, he's a great energy guy. Nice big coming off the bench. He's a little undersized for a center. He's 6'8", 6'9". He's a big body. He hustles and he plays. And man, the energy that he brings, I like Montrezl, man. He definitely deserves more run.
Absolutely. And I mean, he's actually improving his game as a playmaker and bringing a lot more to the table than just being an energy guy. So I can definitely stand behind that one.
Definitely.
I'm going to go with his teammate. Who do you think I'm about to call out?
Avery?
Yeah, he has vastly improved this year from last year. I almost writ off Avery Bradley last year. But I mean, sure, a lot of it was bouncing around quite a bit and also being injured. So you get a little pass from me in that regard. But this guy, the freaking monster, Boban Marjanovic.
Oh!
One of the league leaders in PER, 37.7 right now. This guy has always put up phenomenal advanced stats, but also per 36 numbers through the roof.
Yeah.
So he's only averaging, I mean, literally like 10 minutes right now. The biggest knock on him is maybe he really can't play more than 20, 25 minutes a game, but I think they got to try. You know, I think they got to try because the sample size is there. The dude is 7'3", like 300 pounds.
This guy's a monster.
And they always find a way to get him on these even 6'6" guys or shorter, free him up in spacing. And so, like right now in that 9 minutes, the dude's hard numbers are 8.5 points, 4.5 rebounds. And I mean, he's doing everything. Like if you add up his per 36, he's averaging 33 points a game and 18 rebounds, man.
Boban, he's putting in work, man.
Give a chance to see if he can actually do that.
I agree there. I actually like that pick. I do believe that Boban deserves a chance. Would you start him, though?
I honestly would. I'd give him a shot a couple times. I mean,
see what he does with it. Yeah.
Right. There's been nobody to stop him. He's a great free throw shooter, too, if they start hacking him. So.
That's true. Listen, I'm all for that. I do like Boban. I'm not going to lie. I do enjoy watching him play for some reason, man. Even when he doesn't even jump to get a dunk.
You got it.
Yeah, definitely.
Tiptoe raises.
Yeah. Another one for me. Bobby Portis, a.k.a. put the paws on him.
My man.
Bobby Portis from the Chicago Bulls. He definitely, to me, deserves some more run. He's averaging a double-double right now. 28 minutes for the Chicago Bulls right now. I believe he should get a little bit over 30. I believe he should be... Is he starting right now for Chicago? Oh, no.
Because of injuries, yes, he was.
But if the original rotation was there, he wouldn't be starting right now.
Correct. Yeah. We actually had him on a show, and he was so satisfied with being the sixth man of the year before the season, and wanted to come out and be the sixth man of the year. and have a chance at most improved, which
he could definitely win that, man.
You're right.
What?
Yeah, no, he's a guy that can average 20 and 12.
Yes,
sure.
I really like Bobby Portis' game, Zach. I'm not gonna lie. He's improved in all facets of the game. He can step out and hit that three, hit a nice little mid-range. He can post up, he can rebound. He can do it all in the paint. He has a nice arsenal of moves in the paint. And you gotta love a man who's been putting the paws on him. He takes nothing from his teammates at all. So you got to give Bobby some love.
2 through 5 as well, pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give him some love. So Bobby Portis, to me, definitely deserves some minutes. I'm all in for him, 6th man of the year or most improved, because I definitely think he can be something special. And I know he didn't sign that offer as well. So we're going to see, man. That's going to be an interesting storyline to watch as well, because I know somebody will want to pick him up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
The last player I'd give a shout out to would be my guy Malik Monk. His minutes have increased, but I think on a team like Charlotte Hornets, they're in a position right now. I mean, they're pretty maxed out at what they can do. In order to get to that next level, they got to untap all that potential they have there, and he has the most untapped potential in my estimation.
I'm not mad at that.
He's a rhythm player. He's a streaky shooter. So in order for him to find his role in a system, he's a guy that actually needs a lot of minutes right away. He can't be worked into it.
Yeah, and they definitely got to give him a shot, man. You got to put him out there and see what the man can do, man. I actually remember when he was getting drafted. I wanted him here on the Knicks, man. And Charlotte picked him up. So,
that would have been a good fit for him.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. I like Malik Monk. But before we move on, also, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Rudy Gay. I really like how Rudy Gay has been playing right now for the San Antonio Spurs. He's averaging 14 and 8 right now. He's playing with like 25 minutes or 28 minutes. I feel like I do like Rudy Gay. I like his fit on San Antonio, and I just like how he's playing right now. I think he's a valuable piece for them, and I really like his fit on San Antonio. Even if he wasn't on San Antonio, I think he can still contribute and still get you that nice little 15, 16 a night. I like Rudy right now, man.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Pop is maximizing Rudy Gay as he does every player.
Yeah.
Who knew somebody could turn Rudy Gay into an actual winner?
Exactly.
I thought he was the biggest cancer until he met the great white bearded Yoda.
Yeah, he is. You know, Pop works wonders, man. But I like Rudy Gay, man. I always like this game, man. He's a UConn guy, but I'm proud of Rudy, man. We'll see where this goes. We'll see where this goes, man. And so moving on. You know what time it is, family? The crossover segment.
Not a game. We're talking about practice.
My man Zach, the crossover segment. So I'll be throwing out player comparisons from different eras. My man Zach asks his GM, and he tells me who he would take out of the two in their primes if he was building a team. First up this week, Zach, are you taking a prime Stephon Marbury?
Ooh.
Or Kemba Walker? And let me give you the career stats. Steph, 19 points per game, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 43% from the floor, and also a 2-time All-Star. Kemba, also 19 points per game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 41% from the floor, and also a 2-time All-Star. So my man Zach, if you're building a team, you taking a prime Stephon Marbury, or you taking Kemba Walker?
All right, I'm going to tell you this. This is from a guy that watched very, very many Stephon Marbury games. I had season tickets every year while he was in Minnesota and followed his career after. I would only take China Marbury. That's the only Marbury I'm even considering. I love Marbury. I think he's a solid player and a baller for sure. And that is a good comparison. I'll give you that. I mean, definitely had to think about it a tad bit, but there's a Marbury that was over in China that I would have liked to see come back and see what he was made of one last time, but we never saw that. So Kemba Walker, what he's got that Marbury didn't is the mental aspect of the game. And that guy, he's a dog, and he's just never been around a team that is expected to win. I mean, he's met expectations and keeps improving. I can't believe he's in year, I think, 9 or 10, Kemba is. And he's taking a huge leap again this year.
Dynamite. Kemba Walker's one of my top 5 players in the league, favorite players in the league. I'm a big, huge fan of Kemba Walker. And I love where you're going with this, Zach. Smart man you are, because I'm definitely taking Kemba Walker if I'm building a team. Kemba, to me, is a better player. He's a better scorer. I would say Steph is probably a better passer than Kemba Walker. I'll probably give him that, and maybe could run a team, maybe a tad bit better. But Kemba gives it all. Gives me everything for a point guard. And I can definitely build around Kemba Walker over Stephon Marbury. And I'm a big fan of Kemba, so BX legend, New York legend. Mm-hmm.
I will add this. If you have great talent around him, I'm going to probably take Marbury in his prime. Because you're right, he can lead. But if he's got to be a top option, it's Kemba all day, every day.
Yes.
If you're picking one player to start your team with, it's Kemba Walker. So.
100%. Next up, are you taking a prime Chris Bosh or a prime Blake Griffin? Now, let me give you the career stats. Chris Bosh, 19 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 49% from the floor, 11-time All-Star, 2-time champ. Blake Griffin, 21 points per game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 50% from the floor, 5-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. So accomplishments aside, building a team, you taking prime Chris Bosh or you taking Blake, Zach?
Wow, this one is definitely, these are both really good.
Yes.
I'll credit to you, man. These are solid.
Appreciate that.
So I will say Blake Griffin is one of the top, he's arguably one of the top 10 big man passers of all time. Mm-hmm. I really stand by that and believe that. Blake Griffin, honestly, here's the thing. I'm taking Chris Bosh because he's healthier and he's more reliable, and I'm a big guy that takes reliability. But if it's for one game, it's tough. Like Blake Griffin, we're seeing his best play ever right now. Mm-hmm. I think
best all-around play. Yes,
you're right. It's crazy, and he's the 3-point shot he's developing. He's a much better overall player, all-around player, I think, than Chris Bosh. Defensively, it's close. So, that's my take.
Listen, I don't want to hit as like, who are you taking? You got both of them on the table, my man.
Oh, man.
You got both prime CB4. Either that be Toronto or Miami, whichever one is you're choosing. Prime Blake. You could take Clipper Blake, or you could take Detroit Person Blake right now, whichever one.
Yeah, they both could stretch the floor.
Yeah.
To start my team with, I'm going prime Blake. So I will say for a year, the best year of their career, I'm taking prime Blake. But if it's for a 5-year stretch, just because I don't trust Blake, so I'm going Chris Bosh.
I hear you, man. Listen, Zach, we 2 for 2 today, man, because I'm damn sure taking Blake as well, man. Listen, if I'm building a team, Blake to me, he gives you a little bit more. Just like I said for Kemba Walker, the versatility that Blake Griffin gives you. I know everyone kills Blake because he doesn't have a quote-unquote post move, which I do kill him for. I kind of hate that he
turnaround in the post.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not effective when you need it most. And that's a little bit of my issue with Blake. I feel like he doesn't trust it enough in those crucial moments. And that was always with my issue with Blake, because CP3 is my favorite player. So I watched a lot of Blake, and I'm a big Blake fan. But to me, when those moments, Blake is not there. But overall, talent-wise, man, Blake could be one of the most talented power forwards to ever play this game. This man gives you everything. And now that he's shooting a 3, come on now. I believe he's better than Chris Bosh. Prime Chris Bosh. I love the way Chris Bosh adapted his game when he got to Miami, but I'm still taking Blake either way, because Blake could dominate you as a number 1 option in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the fact that he's 6'10" and he can bring up the ball and be a primary playmaker.
Yeah.
Pretty special.
It is. It's definitely special, man. So you like those crossover segments there, Zach?
Oh, I love that. Great.
Nice. So yeah, man. So this NBA season is still in full effect. This is week 2 or week 3 we in right now, Zach?
I think this is week 3.
Yeah, week 3. Yeah. Still a lot of drama going on with week 3, man. Hopefully by the time this comes out, Jimmy's gone, and there'll be some more drama to talk about, because that'll be another interesting dynamic, because he'll make any team better. And we're definitely going to be watching that closely. And Zach, my man, I appreciate you for joining me on the episode Above the Rim, man. It's a long time coming, my dude.
You got it. No, that was a lot of fun. I appreciate you having me. Good luck the rest of the way. Definitely would love to do another show with you because this was a blast, man.
Yes, most definitely. Appreciate you joining me, man. Most definitely. Make sure you guys go out and check out the 4-season show as well. And Zach, peace out, my man.
Peace. Have a great one.
That's Above the Rim, episode 72, and we out.